Hello there. I have a treat for you in this video. Most of the time I do a savory dish, but in today's video, I'm going to do a sweet dish because it is my sweetie's birthday. And that's what he picked. The recipe that I'm doing tonight is what he picked for his birthday cake, I guess you could say. We don't always do cakes, but it is a cake this year. Decadent chocolate cake. And when I fixed this for him a few months ago, I guess it was now, it knocked his socks off. And so that's what he wanted me to fix for his birthday. Also, if you'll head over to Linktree, that's linktr.ee/cookitfor2, you'll find all the ways that you can connect with me. Now let's get started. In today's recipe, I have out my probably #1 favorite thing in my kitchen. And that is my KitchenAid mixer. This has been such a good mixer. I've had it for years, literally like I think 15 plus years, and it's still going strong. If you don't have one in your kitchen, I'll put a link for you in the description. So what we're going to do is I've got my paddle on, and we're going to start with our dry ingredients first. So we have flour, and my favorite flour is King Arthur. This is just an all-purpose flour. You can use whatever flour that you like or what's in your pantry. But we're going to do our flour, and then we're going to add in some sugar. You know, most of the time I try to make my recipes, I try to keep them pretty healthy, at least semi-healthy. But, we had to just throw that out the door with this one because there's just no other way to do this one. We've got cocoa powder, and the Dutch cocoa is really the best. It's so rich, and it really puts the decadence into this cake. Now we have, in this little bowl, we have baking soda, baking powder, and some salt. So we're going to add that in there. And we're going to go ahead. Now, always remember, whether you're using just a hand mixer or you're using something like this, tighten it down. And then you also want to start with your dry ingredients really, really low. I've learned that the hard way because you do not want stuff to just go flying everywhere. So we're going to you want to let these dry ingredients combine really well before you start adding things to them. But this is exciting because it's a big tradition in our family. On your birthday, you get to pick your dinner that you want, and also what kind of cake or dessert that you want. Not everybody always picks cake. Kyle picked fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, biscuits, and corn. So a corn dish. And then I made this cake a while back, and he loved it. But I try not to make it much because between the two of us, we end up eating the whole cake, eventually. So that's not good. I stopped the mixer for a minute because what you want to do is, I don't know for sure if you can see it in the camera, but on the side of the bowl, you can see the separation, the white and the chocolate, the flour and the chocolate, the cocoa. So what we want to do is we just want to kind of scrape down our sides a little bit, and then we're going to turn it back on low, and we're going to just let that keep mixing until that's good and incorporated. I think it's good and incorporated, so we're going to stop the mixer. I'm going to go ahead and raise it up because I have some more ingredients that I'm going to add in here. So now we have that good and incorporated. We're going to add in our eggs. Now, you can do this however you like, but what I like to do is I like to do one egg at a time, and I'm going to go ahead and mix it because the eggs sometimes, they're runny and slimy a little, and so if you don't give it time to get incorporated, it's just not good sometimes. So I like to leave my mixer running, and then I'm just going to drop those in one at a time. And if you're more comfortable, you can always crack your eggs in a bowl. If you're afraid you're going to drop your shell or whatever in there, you can do that. If you don't feel comfortable just cracking your egg on the side of the bowl like I'm doing. That should be good. so we're going to go ahead, turn it off, lift it up, and we're going to finish adding our ingredients. In this dish, I have milk, but I also have some white vinegar. And what that does is it causes this milk to sour. I don't normally keep vinegar in my fridge. Or, sorry, you wouldn't either probably. I don't normally keep buttermilk in my refrigerator because neither one of us like it. So this is a really quick trick. If you need buttermilk, you just take milk, you add you some white vinegar, you let it sit about 5 minutes, and voila, you have soured milk. So I'm going to add our milk into the bowl. Guess you could kind of see the lumps there. That's like buttermilk. Okay. Now, I'm going to add in the oil, and what I do is I use avocado oil. I don't want to use canola oil. Like, I get away from seed oil. So if I can't cook it without it, I'm not going to cook it. So this is avocado oil. Add that in there. Now, this is a secret ingredient. This right here is really the key to the richness, the depth, the deliciousness of this chocolate cake. Coffee. This is brewed coffee, kind of strong, that's been sitting. And we're going to add the coffee into the bowl. And then I have one more ingredient. I have to have my vanilla. This is probably, I said this was my first. Well, this is a little bit different because it's a flavoring, but I love vanilla. Anytime I can add it, I do. And I never measure my vanilla because the way I look at it, you can never get too much vanilla. It's kind of like butter. All right, so now I'm going to put that down and lock it in place, and we're going to start it up. Once it's incorporated a little bit, you can bring it on up just a little, but I don't take mine up really high. I just like a slow, I like it to mix kind of slowly and make sure it all gets incorporated. And then we'll stop here in a minute and we'll scrape the bottom, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I've taken it out, and when I'm scraping it out of the bowl, there's a bunch of stuff at the bottom. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. We turn the mixer off a little bit, unhook or unlock it, raise it up, because like I said, you want to make sure you take your spoon or your spatula, get down in there really good, because you don't want to have any of that good stuff stuck on the bottom of the bowl. Now this batter is a little runny. That's not, usually cake batters are thicker, but this one's a little bit runny, but that's okay. And you know what? If we weren't on camera, I think I might just like this, but I won't. Okay, but I know somebody else who might. And his name is Kyle. I'm going to stick that right in there. All right, I'm going to let it go just a few more minutes, or not even minutes, just a little bit here. Then we're going to be ready to pour it in our pans. As you can see, I have already greased and floured the pan. You can do this lots of different ways. You can use butter. You can use Crisco, if anybody knows what that is. But I just use some avocado oil, put a little flour in there. You don't have to put a ton. You just want to put enough to keep it from sticking. So we're going to take our bowl, and we're going to try to see how much we have here and pour about half of it into this pan, and then we'll pour half of it into the other pan. So let me look and see where I am here. I think that's close. Woo, I think I'm going to have a drip or two. Here we go. We want to try our best to get them even. It's not that big of a deal if we don't. We can always even them out with frosting, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit more in this one. Now, the other thing that you want to do is you want to take your pans. Okay, I don't know if you could see that on camera, but when I do this, little air bubbles come up and pop. You want to take your pans and you want to hit them on the counter just a few times. And what that does is it forces that air to release. And I have my oven preheated to 350. And so I'm going to put these in there and we're going to let these bake. Whew! The house is really going to smell good. I'm so sorry. I have to apologize. I started frosting my cake and I got so carried away, I forgot to do the camera. So most of it is already done, as you can see, but I still have the top to do. And I was going to show you just this little technique or trick that I do just to kind of, give the top a cute finished look. Trust me though, I am not a baker, okay? And I can give you a little tip of what just happened to me tonight. When you're making a double layer or triple layer cake, make sure that your cake pans are exactly the same size, because one of my pans was a little bit smaller, and so it left a gap between my layers. So my cake is a little lopsided, but you know what? My husband don't care what it looks like. He just cares what it tastes like. So we're going with it. This is what I do. I have frosted it already all over, and then I'll take this, my spreader, or you can just do a butter. You can do a butter knife if you don't have a spreader. And what you're going to do is you're just going to come in here and just make little twirlies. Okay, you're just going to go side by side one ways. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to come the other direction. Then just kind of go around the edge, kind of smear, a little bit where it looks like it's not just like a straight edge. Just kind of smear that a little bit. And it just, like I said, it just kind of, gives it just a little more of a decorative look than just plainly frosted. Now, I'm going to, sorry babe, it spoiled the surprise, but I'm going to decorate his cake. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do this about in the middle. I'm going to do a happy birthday. Okay, this is a candle, so we're going to be able to light that. And this is something new that I've never tried. It's new to me. This is an edible dust. So we're going to try this to spruce up the cake a little bit more. Oh, gosh. I need to get closer. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's too close. This is so pretty. Just be careful how much pressure you put, because I kind of have some little clumps of it here and there. But look how pretty that is. It really decorates your cake. And I don't know if you can really see on the camera, but it's sparkling like it is glittering. Woo! I don't know about him, but I love it. Okay, and then we're not really talking about how old he is. So I'm just going to put some candles on here. Who's counting, right? We're just going to put candles to make it look good. We don't care how many there are. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to take this. I'll squirt a little bit on the sides. Let's just go crazy with it. It doesn't have a flavor, so this is the divine and delicious chocolate cake that I made for my hubby's birthday. I hope that you enjoyed this video. First of all, thank you so much for watching. If you have a favorite cake, I would love for you to put it in the comments what your favorite cake is, what you like to have for your birthday. As always, I hope there's something that you picked up in the video that maybe you didn't know, or it has inspired you to go to your kitchen and whip up a beautiful cake for your sweetie. Lord bless you. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. 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 Okay, shh, ready? Okay.